Hello. Need to update and also make this be a different angle. Um, Not making ice cream anymore. I finished that. Stir fry. B. Let me play with the lighting a little bit. Looks like it might. work. Yeah. Okay, hi. Um, Pulling up a thing that I need to read off of. It's time for more cooking. From Stardew Valley. I'm cooking all of the recipes that you can cook in the game in real life on stream. One of these days I'll like get good at this. Um, the introduction that I do every time. Here are the rules that I'm following that I made up for myself. Number one, have to use all of the ingredients that are listed in the game. Maybe exceptions for a specific type of fish if and when that comes up. We'll see if I need to do that. Number two, I can add any additional ingredients that are not available in the game. If they are available in the game, can't add them. Um, so, like, if I want to add soy sauce to something, there's no soy sauce in Stardew Valley, so I can add that to whatever I like. But if I want to add eggs to something, if it doesn't have the eggs in the recipe in the game, can't add it. Rule number three, I will do it this way. I've lost my ability to Girl Scout. There we go. As much as possible, create the recipe myself, and or just kind of wing it if it's something like stir fry. That's sort of a vibes based recipe, and you kind of just do it. Um, but I can use like instructions or recipes for baking and for like general technique type stuff. Um, Rule number four, as much as possible, use local and or forage ingredients. I don't have that today. Um, Normally that is like a vegetable that I get at the farmer's market, but I didn't go this week because I'm house sitting. So I was not at my normal farmer's market getting food. I did actually go before I came over here, but I also was not at the one that's near here. Rule five, as much as possible, take inspiration from the in-game images and descriptions. Rule number six, as much as possible, try to make them actually tasty, even if they're not necessarily pitched as it. That one's about carp surprise. I don't think that there's any other recipes that are kind of. I guess maybe if the algae soup is like all it says about it is that it's slimy. Rule number seven: have fun. Okay. I'm making stir fry. The description of which is julienne de vegetables on a bed of rice. The ingredients are cave carrot, common mushroom, kale, and oil. I'm excited to be allowed to use oil. I don't think I've made anything yet where I've been allowed to use oil. I've had to always be cooking with butter. However, the description says there's a bed of rice, and rice is not an ingredient, so I'm not allowed to use rice. So I've come up with a solution. Hello, Connie. I've come up with a solution that I think fits my rules, uh, which is rice noodles. Uh, so I guess I'm gonna kind of make like a pad thai type stir fry situation. Should I make like a peanut sauce? That might be good. I'm sure that there's peanut butter here. There's plenty of peanut butter. I'm gonna do a peanut sauce. That because there's not peanuts in Stardew Valley. And honestly, the little image looks like it could be like a yeah, that sounds good. Anyway, rice noodles. If someone was like, "Is this rice?" I would say no, but it is made of rice. So I feel like it can be the bed of rice mentioned in the description, but also does not count as me using rice as an ingredient. Um, I also have an actual little julienne thing to use, which I don't have at home. Usually, when I like julienne vegetables, I just peel them past just the skin. Um, yeah, okay. That's the introduction that I have. I previously used like fancy purple carrots that were sort of gnarly looking as cave carrots. I did not have an opportunity. Actually, I probably could have gotten those if I had known that this was one of the things I was going to make. Whoopsie. Um, I have regular carrots. I think that works well enough. Um, and I have regular kale. I don't have fancy kale. That probably was way too loud, crinkling it next to my microphone. Yeah, but they didn't have like they only had like chopped kale at the store. So I'm gonna peel these carrots and be out of frame because I am gonna peel them into the trash can. I don't think that we have any peanuts here. So if we do, maybe I'll chop some up and put them on top. Actually, it's possible there's some peanuts somewhere in this house. Who knows? Um, Usually I have peanuts around. I like cook with them often. I think the only thing I usually make with like peanuts is um like a African chicken peanut stew. Usually I do pig chicken. I've tried it with tofu before. It doesn't work that well. Um, which is unfortunate because I do love a soup that's supposed to have chicken in it, and instead you do tofu. I think you probably could make the tofu work by just instead of actually cooking it in the stew, doing it separately, which is what I usually do for soups when I put tofu in them when it calls for chicken. I did that the other day with a soup that I made. Um, and then you just kind of like do some crispy tofu, and then when you serve it, you toss it on top. Um, just um, like a cornstarch, salt, nutritional yeast, whatever other seasonings you want to do. The soup I made, I think I just did like cornstarch, nutritional yeast, and salt um, on the tofu, but it was good. Um, I'm thinking for the peanut sauce, I'll probably basically do a sauce that I make for peanut noodles, which is like I don't, I actually don't think I've made my own pad thai before, which might be fun to do. I should do that. Um, but wish I had bean sprouts. I feel like those are. I feel like those would be fair game for the challenge. I don't know where I would get them around here though. Um, yeah, I think it'd be. I should make myself some pad thai at some point. It's quite a convenient way to slice carrots. Um, Okay, and then I need to also slice the mushrooms. Actually, what I should do, uh, for like pad thai type noodles, you gotta soak these for like 10-15 minutes. So I am going to get that going. I can open this package in like a normal way. Um, I probably don't need all of it. This is says that it's 8 servings. I mean, to me, that is always a lie on pasta packaging. I feel like I always get fewer servings out of a package of pasta than it says there will be. Trusty metal bowl again from the ice cream. I need to get metal bowls, honestly, in my own home and kitchen. I don't know if I should use hot or cold water. I guess I'll use like room temperature water. I am gonna like, that's we'll use the focus. I mean, ideally, I'm gonna have leftovers. Um, I can eat eat at a later date, and by a later date, I mean probably tomorrow. Um, but that I think will be a reasonable amount of noodles to have made. Um, alright. I'm gonna put this over here. It is kind of nice how much just like counter space there is in this kitchen. Uh, that is one sort of downside to my kitchen is that I feel like I am always like out of, especially if I'm making something in my air fryer, and I have to like pull it down to take up more space while things cook. I'm always like putting uh like cutting boards on burners on the stove that I'm not using. Okay, I need to use half of the mush. I got like one big thing of mushrooms instead of two normal sized things of mushrooms because it was cheaper. It means that I need to use like half of this container. There's what else am I making with mushrooms? Oh, veggie pot pie. Shout out veggie pot pie. It's really good. This is 24 ounces. I feel like the things of them I usually get are 8, not 16. Maybe I don't know. Well, actually no, because 24 is not 16 times 2. uh, yeah, why is there, usually they're 12 ounces. That would kind of make sense. Slice the mushrooms. I'm thinking I'll probably do, I'll do the carrots and then add the mushrooms and then add the kale. Um, because carrots will take a little longer. Um, one thing I was thinking about because I actually like looked at it yesterday when I did my little like finishing up the ice cream mini stream. because instead of just like reusing and updating settings for the stream, I like just created a new one and just filled in the information from scratch. Is there like the the stream categories on YouTube are kind of weird. Um, and I would love if I did not have to select just one. If I could select zero, that would be great. And let me just use my own tags. Um, or if I could select multiple, that would be fine. Cause I'm like, this is not game. Um, but also it is adjacent to that. Like all of the other people who have done basically the same challenge, I don't think that I got recommended their videos because I like watch a lot of cooking content. I think I probably got recommended them because I like watched a Stardew Valley video. So I don't know, maybe I should have it be under gaming, but I don't. I have it under how to and style. But like I feel like I'm not really explaining how to cook. Um I am someone who already knows how to cook, who is I think maybe I'll add like a little bit of sesame oil. I don't totally know what kind of oil this is. I'm pretty sure it's vegetable oil. I put olive oil in my one of these. Um, and I thought that my dad also does that. But the other day I was like, okay, time to put some olive oil in the pan, and I used it, and it wasn't olive oil. And I was like, do I not know what oils are and how to tell them apart? But I think it just is vegetable oil. Hence why I have the big jug of olive oil out here because that's usually what I default to. Um, Most of what I cook, but vegetable oil I think is more in the spirit of the oil that is in Stardew. Um, so yeah, okay. I didn't start a timer or anything for these noodles. I'll just start one for 10 minutes now because it said 10 to 15, and I think it's probably been less than 5 minutes. It's probably good to add oil. Um, yeah, I like having some, some little sesame flavor and stuff, but I feel like sesame oil is like not good to use as like the main oil for stuff. I feel like it always comes out bad when I do that. What do I want to use as a spatula? I actually did discover that there's another um silicone spatula somewhere. I might just use the other one though, because I know where it is. I saw a second one somewhere, but I do not remember where. Okay. Let this go. I might actually, while we're at it, mix up. I forgot that there's like no bowls in this house. Um, Mix up the peanuts. Trying to think like how much is a good amount to make. I think I'll probably do. Where's the quarter measuring cup? Is it in here still? I'll probably do a quarter cup of peanut butter. I will earn my how to category by explaining how to. Also, they do how to one word HOWTO, no hyphen. Feels weird. Um, Peanut sauce for like a noodle. Usually, what I do is I'll make this, and then you just make like instant ramen without putting um the seasoning packet in, um, and then just make some like onions and broccoli, um, and then mix it up. Um, it's pretty good. Uh, can do like a fried egg on there usually. Um, Basically, you do equal parts soy sauce and I hope that there's a quarter cup of soy sauce in here. I'm sure that there's no soy sauce if there's not. Um, yeah, equal parts peanut butter and soy sauce, and then just like less oil than that. Just like, I don't know, a quarter as much maybe, or add some oil. This is definitely not a quarter cup of soy sauce. Let me find more soy sauce, and also this is probably actually hotter than I want it, if I had to hazard a guess. Um, might throw a little more oil in there. Okay. This is gonna be scary. Uh, it wasn't as scary as I thought. Okay. I hope I don't have to go to the basement to look for more soy sauce. Because if that's the case, I should maybe have done that before. Putting carrots on the in the pan. Is there more soy sauce in? Yeah. It doesn't look like it. This is so sad. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go find more uh soy sauce. I'm not gonna go to a be right back screen, but I success. It was in the fridge, and I got a little worried because I was like, is there not actually more? Um, because like soy sauce is something that, at least when I lived here, we always kept around plenty of. But I had a moment where I was like, uh-oh, I wonder if when sister moved out, if soy sauce became a get more when we actually run out, not a make sure we don't run out. You know, it's important to have both of those types of things. Okay, mushroom time. Um, the thing also about this peanut sauce is that it is peanut butter and soy sauce, which are two pretty salty things. So, um, use caution if you are um also salting whatever you're putting the um, low on forks too. This never happens at my house. We have a million forks and spoons and not as much of other things. But more bowls than here. Actually, we have kind of a lot of bowls too. I should add some oil to this. Um, yeah, and then you just like mix up the peanut butter and soy sauce until it is. Uh, I might actually do. I have a lime. I'm thinking I might actually put some lime straight in this sauce and then use the other half as to like put on top. Um, I think that'll be more seem more pad thai-y. I'm also not gonna bother getting the lemon squeezer. Just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Nature's lemon squeezers. This is great also because I have cilantro that I got for something. I don't actually remember what. It might be for tacos. I know I'm gonna make those at some point. Um, but yeah, but if this is like pad thai style, I can throw some cilantro on that bad boy. Can also get peanut sauce on my light colored shorts. Awesome. Finished reading the book that I was reading when I was doing my coffee and ice cream stream. It was pretty good. The friend who recommended it to me like sent me the review that they wrote on their like Goodreads or whatever. And I don't think I liked it quite as much as they liked it, but I did like it. Well, okay. Um, I have sort of like a contentious relationship usually with the pans that my parents have. Um, they never behave for me. My all of my food always gets stuck to them. Um, okay, these noodles are not quite all separated out yet, but that's fine. I'll just leave them in the water until it's time to throw them in with the stir fry. Um, I think I can stop this. We can toss the kale in now. These mushrooms definitely aren't done like kale noodles all the time. Um, it's down. I'm adding all this. I got like the smallest bag of kale that they had because I didn't want to be stuck with more kale than I could ever possibly figure out what to do with. I might also just like spray it a little bit so that it is easier to get. Um, yeah, there's not noodles really in Stardew, so I think rice noodles count as something that is a fair ingredient to add. There's pasta, like there's spaghetti, but that's you make it from scratch. That'll be fun to do. I need to decide when I want to do that. I probably actually will do it. I want to start doing the recipes that use tomatoes because it has started to be tomato season at the farmers market. Um, so I'm thinking that it'll be good. um, to get some nice fancy tomatoes and make stuff with it. Spaghetti is one of those. There's I think the first one that I guess I can't do next week because I'm not going to be able to go to the farmers market this week. But the following week, I'm hoping somebody will still have beets and I can get tomatoes and beets. And there's some recipe that like that's the ingredients. I think can't remember if it's the red plate or some other one. Let's see. Oh, it's the vegetable medley. Um, I'm thinking of maybe also adding kohlrabi. I haven't really cooked with that very much. But I think it could be a nice green. It's like I feel like that would go well. And I have been seeing kohlrabi at the farmers market. Not every week, but like on and off. So I'm hoping that the seasons of those overlap enough for me to get all of them for that one. Okay. I think this is probably good to throw. Oh yeah, I was gonna also add before I was like, oh, let me do a peanut sauce. I was gonna add hot sauce. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of that into the peanut sauce, mix that in. Hopefully, it will then taste like spicy peanut sauce and not just taste like peanuts and syrup. I feel like it'll probably be good. Me, yeah, that works pretty well. Got it in one. Okay. Um, Probably should have grabbed a strainer instead of doing it. Okay. Rice noodles. I will throw these in. I think I'm also gonna spray these with oil before I mix it together. Get a good amount in there. And then mix this up. Oh, it is supposed to be on a bed. Whoops. Whatever. It's fine. I don't really want to cook these separately. Yeah. Gonna mix this together. Try and cook these noodles a little bit more, or I guess at all, since they were just softened, not really cooked in the water. I'll try and see if I can get this little bit of carrot off of the. I can't. It's in the void. Yeah. Oh, we can like kind of rather than stirring the veggies all in, just they're they're in the pan together, but there's some separation a little bit. Okay. Let this cook a little bit. Put some things away. Uh, Remember where things go. I think sauce down. This is probably. Well, you have a little like really. um. So I think I'm gonna let them cook a little bit longer before I add the sauce. have to rinse this empty soy sauce bottle so I could recycle it, but you can't recycle glass here. Boo, lame. I say that. I mean, I live somewhere that has good recycling, so I'm a little spoiled in that regard. I'm wondering if it should have actually been hot water that I soaked these noodles in. But whatever. They're not like terrible. They're a little firm. Okay. Um, if I keep stirring this fry, I'm just gonna keep losing veggies to the thing. So I'm just gonna let's sauce it up. It is also kind of a liquid that will maybe help the noodles get a little softer. Mm. I think I'll probably throw a little extra lime juice in here too, actually, because now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't taste a lot of the lime in the sauce, which I guess will happen when you only use um wait, I open this thing. When you only use half of a lime instead of using I've like talked to my dad. I've been like, oh, you should get the like huge, enormous jugs of lemon and lime juice that they have at Aldi. Because that's what I use. Because I am like always cooking with lemon and lime juice and like making lemonade and stuff like that. Um, he was like, no, it's like I wouldn't go through it fast enough. It would go bad. But they're so convenient to have. And to be like, okay, time to add 1 million limes. Oh yeah, we're liming it up. I'm gonna take the sesame oil, to be honest, but it's okay. Can throw some sesame seeds on here. Should have brought some sesame seeds to get rid of by leaving them here. I have like 3 things of sesame seeds, and I think they're all full because we were low, and so I got more, and then I guess I forgot more, and then was like, "Oh, we're almost out of sesame seeds. Better get a replacement for when this one runs out." And then I think my roommate also did that at one point, so we have like 3. Okay, this is probably good. I don't actually feel like chopping up peanuts, even if we have them. And also, at a quick glance, I don't see any. Um, so we'll hold off on that. We do this as a plate meal because we're out of bowls of um, sort of size that makes sense for this. This is not a good serving utensil. Okay. Get a noodle heavy scoop first. Yeah, all of the noodles don't want to just be stuck together forever. Okay, there we go. And then the one that's mostly veggies. Not very efficient. That's fine. Okay, there we go. Nice glob of stir fry veggies. Gonna get a little lime slice action. Gonna get some cilantro action. And by cilantro action, I do just mean tearing some directly off of the thing. Okay. Hey. Knock over my beverage. Yay! Yay! Stir fry. Oh, you know what? I think there's chopsticks somewhere. Oh well. Get one of all of the veggies. That's cilantro, not kale. That's a pretty good approximation of pad thai. I'm sure there's like some really important ingredient that I'm missing. That's like, oh my god, I can't believe you didn't put, I don't know, ginger or something. That doesn't count as pad thai, but if it's ginger, I can't use it because there's ginger in Stardew. It's not in this recipe. It's a little sad because usually I do put ginger in my stir fry and garlic. Um, but pretty good. Yippee! This one also is like it's so much quick. This is like 45 minutes, easy. Unlike when I spent like 2.5 hours doing a stream and still didn't finish it. Yeah, cool. Thanks for watching. That's it for me on this one. Um, next one of these that I do will be back in my own home. Where is there it is. Yay!